welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and this is Kitty Stitch. It's a place where I like to talk about cross stitch and all the things that I love to make. So we have a very special episode today, and that is going to be for my 1-year Flosstube anniversary. And I decided it would be fun to show you guys my crafting space. So today we're going to do a desk tour and pegboard tour. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for all of the support that I have received here over the last year. It has been so much fun. I've met so many new people. I read every single comment. I reply to every single comment. And it's just so fun to be able to interact with everyone and talk about something that we all love and we all have in common, which is cross stitch and sometimes other crafting as well. This is where I do 95% of my cross stitch specifically, but almost every other thing that I make as well is sitting here at my desk. It's like a multi-purpose room in our house. So it has my stuff on this side of the wall and then my husband's stuff on that side of the wall. So typically I'm turned around facing my pegboard so I can look at everything while I am making as well, which is so fun and so inspiring. So I like to put finished projects up there as well as supplies that I often gravitate towards, and also just other little knickknacks as well. And so I just have my little stand here. I didn't even take my project out today, in my light, and we will dive a little bit further into all that now. Okay, so I was thinking the easiest to work top to bottom, left to right. So starting up here in the top left corner, I should mention as well, all of the supplies that go into hanging things on this pegboard have been purchased from Home Depot, as well as the pegboard and the trim. So the pegboard came white and I painted it pink with just like standard wall paint. And then I attached some trim here along the ends as well, which I think just makes it look a little bit nicer. But first thing we have, top left corner, is going to be my Q snaps. So this is any Q snaps that I am not using. And I actually just have them hanging on a bar that is supposed to hold like a shelf, but it was long enough that they all actually fit. So that is where I keep all my extra Q snaps when I'm not using them. I have the largest size, the 8x8, which is my favorite, and then a really small like 4x4 frame. Next, I have a little stained glass piece. I love stained glass. So this was one that I got from a small boutique artist store here in Cincinnati. So that is so, so cute. I pulled the next couple pieces off the pegboard to give you guys a better showing. But first I have this is technically a Christmas ornament. It's a picture from when my husband and I got engaged in 2022. I believe this came from Joann's. And then my next piece that was hanging up next to that is my very first ever cross stitch. So she's not great, but honestly could be worse. There's definitely some pen lines down the middle there, as you can tell. And what's funny is I actually stuck in the back here one of my embroidery pieces as well, which that is, people have nightmares about that, I'm pretty sure. So embroidery was definitely not my thing, and I quickly transitioned to cross stitch. So there is my very first ever cross stitch piece. I stained the hoop, and yeah, I like to have this hanging up so I can have something to look back on and just see how far I've come. I believe this pattern is from a small designer on Etsy. I have no idea the information of where this came from, but I'm sure if you just type in moon cross stitch, you'd be able to find it. So there are those two. Those are all hanging using little silver hooks that are designed for pegboards that I got, again, from Home Depot. When I first got the pegboard, I got like a large mixed variety set. So that was some that were a part of that. Most of what I've used has come from that set. I believe the only thing that did not come in that set is the hangers that I used for my Q snaps. But moving along, I have a little basket here. I believe this is technically called an envelope basket. And in it, I have my glow stick from the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert. It's going to be really sad, but I don't think it lights. Oh, it does still light up. So we got these when we went to the Eras Tour, which is so fun. And then I also just keep a couple notebooks in here. I like to just have pen and paper easily accessible to be able to write things down whenever I might need. And I keep a few extra bars to my Q snaps in here. Over time, they have stretched out, so I write O for old on them so that I know these are old ones and they're not quite as tight. So I keep those in there with that. The next finished piece that I have is one of my faves. It's a pretty recent finish for me. This is Strawberry Fair by October House Fiber Arts, and I just love how this finish came out. I stitched it on a 32 count flax, I believe, with the called for DMC, and then I finished it using the beaded scalloped border finishing class tutorial by Hello from Liz Matthews at the Jingle Ball last year. Then I also added a beaded hanger and then just a few little goodies there to the back as well. So I absolutely adore how this turned out. I think it's so cute and I love to have it to look at there. Moving along, I have this little shelf right here that I believe came from the Target dollar spot. On it, I just have a few little knickknacks. So this is a beautiful vase that my grandma gave me. It is Irish. It has the clattering and some clovers on it. And I believe this is like a Celtic knot maybe. I don't know if this means anything to you, but that is where you can get it if you're looking for one yourself. I just really like it and I think it's cute. I love the details on the clovers and I think that's super cute. So I keep that up there. You'll kind of notice like a lot of the little knickknacks I've gotten from travels. So this is a little teeny Tower of Pisa that I got at the Tower of Pisa. And then this little Buddha guy, I really don't know where he came from, but I just thought he was cute. Um, this is a pincushion that was actually handmade from someone in Portugal, and I just love it. I just like to keep it displayed up there. I love the fabric colors and super cute. Next I have back there is like a picture of my sorority house that they gave us when we graduated. This is just a little silly little dish that I got when I was thrifting. And then this was the make and take from, I believe, Stitchway 2022. It's a little nest that I just stick finishing pins in. So anytime people love to pass these out at retreats, so I always just stick them in there when I get them because I think they are super cute. So that was from Stitch Away. Then moving down here, I have a small little plaque. I believe this came from my grandma from when I went to college. Oh yeah, it's the Natural Life brand, but that was probably 10 years ago. So good luck finding that. But that Natural Life brand does have really cute stuff in general. So I just like to have that there because this is my little happy place. And then my next finished item is this lovely piece. It is Crafty Girl by Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. Such a cute design. I added a bow to mine. And it just turned out so stinking cute. My friend Elizabeth designed this and she is so talented and so sweet. And this design is just perfect. So I love to have that hanging there. Next up, I just have another little basket. In here, there's actually nothing yet. It just has 3 little dividers. This, again, came from Home Goods along with the basket up here, if I didn't say. I find that these are great to put onto the pegboards because the wicker, you can poke those little hooks through it and attach them to the pegboard. So really enjoy doing that. This one I just actually recently got. So I want to put like frequently used items in there. But I just haven't come up with what those are yet. Now we've hit the bottom of the left side of my pegboard, and I have, this is things that are like really right at eye level, so I like to have things that I like to look at often here. So I know this is a Christmas decoration, but I don't care. It'll hang on the Christmas tree, and then it'll probably go back up here. That is my star, the Winter Woodland Star by Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm not sure if this might have been a market release for her. If not, I'm sure it's coming through soon because it was a class for the Jingle Ball last year. It's where I learned how to do the scalloped borders, and I'm obsessed with them, and it's so stinking cute. I also added beads to the finished piece, the finished stitching there as well. This one is from a swap that my friends and I did. So we each pulled a random name and stitched something for the person that we got. My person that stitched for me was Rachel of Lemonade Stitching, and she knows I love a pink house. So she stitched Pink Hill Manor by Blackbird Designs, and I just love this. It's so beautiful. The frame is beautiful. It's really nice, like a metal frame, and I love being able to look at it. So that is from her. Next up here is just a few little goodies. So this is a piece that I finished from StitchCon 2 years ago. It was a freebie design that was offered in the little booklet that they give you. We changed the wording on it, and I just think it looked so cute. We actually all just got one skein of floss and then split them up and shared them. So it worked out great. I just made some cording to go along with it and finished with some green polka dot there on the back. So that is Good Friends as a StitchCon freebie from, I believe, 2024. This is the very first Mill Hill that I stitched. It has a 2022 marker on the back. So it has been around for a while and definitely started my addiction of Mill Hills. This one I tried finishing a different way. If you can tell, I stitched around the edges to attach the velvet. It's not my preferred way to do it, but again, this is my first piece. So love how that turned out and definitely started a bit of an addiction for me. And the last thing here is a baby sock. It's so small. This is the first yarn that I ever used to make socks. So I had this idea that I was going to use all of my scraps to make baby socks out of all the socks that I've made and then turn it into a garland. I've only made the first sock. So I don't know if that will ever come to fruition or not, but it is a great idea. So if somebody wants to do that, they should. The baby sock is so funny and so cute. I put it on my cat at one point and she did not like that, but it is very cute. Next up, those all just kind of like hang stacked there and all lined up cute. This right here is one of my favorite things in the entire world. It is from Taylor Swift's Christmas ornament collection, and it is Betty, which is a song by her, and it is cross stitched on the ornament. Like not actually cross stitched, but it's printed like cross stitched. Let me get it. You've got to see this. There it is. These ornaments sell out really quickly every Christmas season. So I was so happy to be able to have snagged this because it's just incredible. Taylor Swift cross stitch merch. Come on. So that is absolutely 100% my vibe and I love it. It hangs up there all year as well. And lastly, I have the very first piece that I ever crocheted, which is really funny. I don't really know why that's there, just besides the fact that it's funny. And then a little pot that has macrame hanging down. I actually did not make that. It was a gift from my mom. And it had a plant in it, but it died. So I just like to have it there now. Next up, I have some of my favorite things. A couple years ago, I decided that whenever we travel, I was going to collect thimbles from where we've been. So that is my collection at this point. There are a few countries that we've been to that I started collecting after we had gone. So they are not there. I need to find some on eBay. But I think these are the perfect souvenirs, especially for somebody who crafts, because obviously they're crafting related and they are so tiny. They can fit in any suitcase and they're really affordable. So I can show you guys some of these a bit more up close. These will be in no particular order. But the first one I have here is Porto. This was in Portugal. Super cute. This one is from Santorini, Greece. We just went there last year on our honeymoon. This one is Ohenia. That is also in an island of Greece. It's the biggest island of Greece, actually. And it was our favorite place that we went on that trip. We loved Henia, so definitely recommend that. Next up is Athens. So there's the Parthenon. Such a cool thing to experience. Next up, we have, I believe this is Madrid. Yep, Madrid. A big bear on top. I liked that. This is like the tallest one. He's kind of different. Lisbon. This is from Zagreb, Croatia. I believe that's the capital. Zagreb is. Split was also in Croatia. It was a little island, like not an island, but like a beachier town. Very cool. And Dubrovnik. So this was another one that was really cool for us. We went with my parents, and the city is really, really cool. So I would definitely recommend Dubrovnik as well. But I love to, like I said, collect these thimbles from my travels. It's just a nice little keepsakes and way to remember the places we've been. So, and I love to have them displayed front and center there for me to look at all the time. But above that, I have a few little silly things as well. This is a bead dog from my friend Elizabeth. When she went to Mardi Gras, she made those. These two little books on either side. One of my friends from work was helping clean out some stuff from her grandma, and she found those and thought that I would like them, which is so true. They're right up my alley. So that was so sweet of her to think of me and give them to me. They're teeny tiny. These are some of my calico critters. They're stupid little thingies that I like, and they're cute. Um, Next to that, I have my cat's whiskers because I am a freak, and I keep them in a little jar whenever I find them, like they are good luck. Like when you blow on an eyelash, that's what I think of my cat's whiskers. So there's that. And then on this far side, I just have a little teeny tiny spool that I think came from somebody at StitchCon. So yeah. I kind of lied about the direction that we were going to go. I said we were going to go from left to right, and I didn't. But here is the right side of the pegboard now. This is a cork board that I covered in fabric. I've redone this like many times. If you ever have a cork board, it's great because you can change it up quite a bit. So I just have some floral fabric in the back, painted the outside orange, and added some yellow trim as well. But this is really kind of just like a catch-all for me. So lots of like little fun scraps and things. I'll move in a little closer here. Up at the top, I have a postcard from Hand and Lock. When I ordered one of their stitching cases, that came, and I just thought it was beautiful, so I put it up there. This is a Polaroid from when we went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I have my little brag table. Oops, it's not focusing because of my finger. I have my little brag table tags from StitchCon just because I think they're fun to keep, and a little printout from Liz as well. This is a receipt, it looks like. When is that from? 2023. No idea why that's up there, to be honest. And then my name tag, that can come off. A name tag from, I believe that was, oh yeah, Summer Stitch 2023. There's another postcard that came with my Hand and Lock order. This is another Mill Hill that I made, one of the very first ones. This is an ornament that my mom got made for me of my cat because I love her, so that hangs up there. This is a picture of my husband and I on a trip. My wristbands from when I went to see Taylor Swift Eras Tour twice, I hang those up there. This is a cute picture of my mom and I when we went to a bridal show in 2023 when I was planning a wedding and about to get married and all that craziness. So we had such a fun time there. And actually, we ended up booking that photo booth for our wedding. So that's funny. This is a sticker that I cannot stick on anything because I like it too much. So it just hangs there. A picture of my friend Sloan and I from college. This is a coaster that I just hung up there because, again, I love my cat. And some bracelets from, I believe these are both from Lizzie of Frizzy Lizzie Stitches. She passes these out at retreats, and I like to have them up there to look at as well. Moving down on the pegboard, this is a doily that I believe we got in Spain that was handmade by someone, which is really cool. And then this is a postcard from someone on Instagram. Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't have their name. If I can find them, they make beautiful embroidery things, and so they were selling some prints of their work, and I purchased that on Instagram forever ago. A picture of my sister, my dad, and I at my parents' house. This is another coaster. This is of the Midnights record by Taylor Swift. And then this is a little, I think they call them salt dough ornament of my cat's foot. um, but then moving along here to this shelf, I wish I had more shelves, but I don't. But this is the one shelf that I do have. So I have a nice card from my husband that he got me for my birthday. This was a little teeny tiny pot that I picked up from a local market here in Cincinnati. And I actually keep all of my extra like used needles in here. So it's not going to focus. But that's where I keep all of those. That really worked out perfectly. And I can just stick them in there and I don't have to worry about one of our pets getting a hold of them. This is my little guy. I don't really know what he is. I think he's a peanut maybe. He's by Artist Designs and he's called a booby. And you stitch him and oh, come on, focus on him. There she is in all her glory. Little cowgirl boots. Come on, like seriously, the cutest thing ever. It's called a booby by Artist Designs. I love so much stuff that she does. So this was so cute. He watches over me while I do my stitching. I have a little pumpkin back there. I think it's supposed to be a tomato, but mine kind of looks like a pumpkin. That was a finishing class at Stitch Away when I went. In here, I have some more bracelets from the Airs tour, as well as the extra little pins for my pegboard. Back here, this is from a local artist shop as well. It looks like my cat, and I think that her spot looks like a heart. So, oh, you can't see that, but I think her spot looks like a heart, and it has a little heart on it, so that's so cute. This is a little rubber duck that someone gave me at a retreat as well that just sits up there. And then this little coffee mug is from Hobby Lobby, and I just keep all of my heat erase related products in there, along with a few other pens as well, so I can have those to grab if I need. And then moving on down, we are almost finished with the pegboard portion here. I have my recent beaded necklace that I made. So I had so much fun making that. I also have a frame that I keep a lot of my most used needle minders on. Kind of a hot take, but I really don't use needle minders a ton. But there is a few on there. And then I just have some supplies that I often grab. So I have my X-Acto knife, a couple pairs of scissors, a hole punch, and another pair of scissors. And then that is a bag charm that my friend Rachel of Lemonade Stitching made. And I didn't want it to just sit on my retreat bag. So in the meantime, it's sitting there so I can look at it as well. Okay, so that wraps things up for my pegboard. Moving on to my desk. Like I said, I do a majority of my stitching here. I really am not a couch stitcher. I just cannot get comfortable. I'm losing things. So having my desk and having a place to put things works best for me. So this is just kind of an overview of what I am typically looking at. I sit kind of angled with my Lowry table clamp stand here. This I got from Lindy Stitches. It is the table clamp, and I also got the Q-snap corner clamp for the table clamp. It works great for me. I think you have to have a very specific setup for it to work well, but in my case, it works great. So I love that. Starting kind of back here in the background, I have a monitor that is hung to the wall on a swivel. So I can pull that out if I want to watch something while I'm stitching, which is great. And then I use an HDMI to my computer to be able to watch things there. Then I also have my Bisley case. So this is where I keep all of my DMC. I have it all, my full collection in here. It's lovely to, whenever I need to be able to come over and pull something to start a project. I love having this convenient and accessible. I also just keep along the side here a few needle minders and just other little silly things stuck there for fun. Now more of an overview of what is on my desk specifically. This back here is a lamp that my husband got from Amazon for me for Christmas. And actually it works great. It has 3 different light settings. I can maneuver it around. And inside of here actually is some additional storage. So this is where I like to keep Mill Hill projects that I've finished and maybe not yet FFO'd or that have not made it down to the Christmas storage ornament area where I like to store them. I also here on this side have a few extra command hooks. This is what I like to use to hang my projects on the wall. So I just like to have those handy in case I finish anything and want to hang it up. And what's really cool as well is this is a whiteboard on top of here. So it can be nice if I'm starting something up and want to write down dimensions, measurements, all that good stuff. Back behind here, honestly, is typically a pile of something that needs to be put away. So right now I just have this leftover fabric because I finished my tomato project. I have a couple of DMC that need to be put away. And this is a panel that I have been planning on making into a project bag and have not done yet. So that's kind of what's in my assorted pile right now. But I also have back here my new large Ort container. So here's a status update on where we stand with that. It's really filling up quick, but it compresses down a lot. So this will work on for quite some time. But I also have my light here for stitching. This is an aught light that clips onto my table as well. It's very affordable from a craft store or online. I have my iPad stand. So typically my iPad is sitting here for any digital chart that I'm using along with the flosses. So this is the flosses for the Charming Cow sampler that I'm working on currently by Little Robin Designs. So that's what you saw in my Q-snap earlier. Then I have my little fan. This is nice because, as you guys know, it gets real hot in here, so I like to have that. My computer. Then I also have my phone stand. This is from StitchCon this past year. And honestly, this leveled up things for me. It's so nice to just have and prop and set my phone up. Has a ton of different angles. And I just love having that easily accessible there. This little desk mat I got from IKEA forever ago. I'm sure they don't make it anymore, but they might make something similar. I just like to have that down to protect my surface of my desk. Then I have a mouse pad with my mouse. And the last few things here, so this is just the little box for my mic that I had sitting there. But I love to keep my stitching case handy. As you guys know, this is my favorite thing ever. I love just having this accessible right next to me for whatever I might need. So it just sits there along with a notebook underneath in case I ever need to write anything down. Right now I have my coffee sitting there as well. And then this is a little dish that I thrifted. And it's perfect because it has all these little slots where I can stick my scissors. So I just have tons of assorted accoutrements kind of stuck in the dish of random things, chapstick, a screwdriver. But I keep my tweezers, my scissors, all that good stuff there. So that just sits right here. And then behind here, I have my Cobalt little mini storage container as well, with just a few little decorations on top. So this is a Animal Crossing Lego set that came from Target, and it's so cute. And my Biscornu that I like to stick extra needles in if I need somewhere to put them. So that is lovely to have on top of there. And to be honest, inside of here is just a bunch of random stuff. So I'm not going to show you guys inside of there, but yeah, that is what I keep on my desk and on my bulletin board, my pegboard for stitching. So again, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone for your support over the last year that I've been here on YouTube, on Flosstube. It's just been so much fun. I cannot wait to keep making videos, keep sharing what I am making with you guys, and I hope you continue to enjoy watching as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you, and that's it. If you have any questions about anything on my pegboard, let me know. I'm happy to ask. I know when I was going through and making my pegboard, I kind of struggled to find information about where to get things, how to hang things, all that stuff. So I'm definitely happy to answer any questions you might have. But I think that is all for today. So see you next time. Bye.